The world is literally falling apart, but some people have other priorities. Forget the apocalypse. The real news is the school goddess is about to publicly execute her relationship. The crowd's already written him off. He's a no-name loser, and she's destined for greatness. Meet Fang Yi, the guy who's about to get dumped. But those eyes tell a completely different story. She hits him with the classic, "It's not you, it's that you're not realistic for my amazing future" speech. She's giving a whole TED talk on their incompatibility, making sure the entire school is taking notes. And for the grand finale, she tells him not to even think about begging her to come back. But our boy just stands there silent, while the whole crowd holds its breath for the meltdown. She's soaking it all in, posing like she just won an Oscar for most dramatic breakup. And his legendary response that no one saw coming? A casual wave and, "Oh, all right." The school goddess is absolutely stunned. This was not in her script. He's already walking away, and she desperately calls out, unable to stand being ignored. But when he turns back, those eyes are glowing. This isn't just a breakup, it's a warning. She doubles down, convinced he's playing some kind of reverse psychology game to win her back. Then he hits her with the coldest line in history, "Don't flatter yourself, I'm busy." And just like that, the queen of the school is left utterly speechless, humiliated in front of everyone. He doesn't even look back, leaving her and her entire audience frozen in disbelief. Because while they're stuck on high school drama, he knows the world they're fighting over is about to burn. The truth drops like a bomb. He's a regressor, sent back from a ruined future to change it all. Forget reputation and romance. The game is about to change, and he's the only one who knows the rules. He's not just remembering the future, he's reliving the night the entire world broke. The countdown to the apocalypse begins. Aura has returned, and it's rewriting reality itself. In this new world, your grades don't matter, only your power level, and the age of cultivators has just begun. But in the chaos of his memories, he recalls a single game-changing detail he'd forgotten. Because on the night he died, he wasn't alone. A mysterious power reached out to him in his final moments. And it offers him the ultimate cheat code, a system that can literally create god-tier techniques out of thin air. He's about to accept the power that will let him rewrite his own destiny. But the memory of his first death comes roaring back, a beast born from the new world's nightmares. In his past life, he was too weak, and both he and his only chance at survival were completely overwhelmed. That was his pathetic end as a nobody, but this time he's holding the script. The nightmares are back, a world devoured by monsters, and he's the only one who remembers. But this isn't the weakling from his past life. This is the man who came back for vengeance. He recalls being a nobody, just another victim swept away by the tide of destruction. Powerless, he watched as titans tore his world apart, and humanity was reduced to prey. His first life ended in utter defeat, but his final thought wasn't fear. It was pure, unfiltered rage. And that burning hatred was the exact qualification the system was looking for. Now he holds the ultimate secret, while the rest of the world sleeps on the edge of a volcano. He's not just going to survive this time. He's going to master the apocalypse itself. The memory trip is over, and the game is officially on. The system is booting up. And its first message is a game changer. He can use literally anything in existence to forge his power. The system's first quest drops, save the world, or watch it burn all over again. But on the ground, the government is playing dumb, issuing vague warnings while the world marches toward its doom. The official story is silence, but the mythical creature sightings going viral are the government's secret SOS. He remembers the chaos from his first life. While other nations fell to panic and gunfire, his country chose a slower, colder path. And if the system can use anything to make him stronger, then his first move is to hunt down the apocalypse itself. His first clue? A bizarre news report about a record-breaking heat wave at a nearby university that no one is taking seriously. The public laughs it off as fake news, completely clueless that the heat wave is the first sign of an otherworldly invasion. He arrives to find the sky dark and stormy, a localized weather anomaly that defies all logic. Then he checks the UV index again, and it's dropped to 0, because what's causing the heat isn't the sun. The university warns students away from the high UV gate, and it all clicks. That's not radiation. That's the aura of a monster. Everyone else sees a prank, but he sees the beginning of the end. While others run from the danger, he's running straight towards his first power-up. He heads for the quietest gate on campus, because that's exactly where the monster is hiding. The air itself feels wrong, thick with an energy that screams, "Get out." The panicking students don't see it. but the air is filled with shimmering particles of pure power. And like an absolute madman, he decides to touch the raw energy of the apocalypse. The moment he makes contact, the system goes absolutely wild. He wasn't expecting the reaction to be this explosive. The system confirms it. He's just absorbed a monster's aura and unlocked a brand new power set. But absorbing God-tier power isn't a walk in the park. It's tearing his very body apart. A pillar of golden light erupts from the ground, putting the entire campus on notice. The crowd thinks it's a superhero, but they're witnessing the birth of something far more dangerous. This divine power comes at a cost, and it's tearing Fang Yi apart atom by atom. He's literally seconds from death, his body completely overwhelmed by the upgrade. But just as he breaks, the system confirms it. He's unlocked the Golden Sun breathing technique. And just like that, we cut to a different university on a perfectly normal day. New students are arriving, but among them is a girl who's anything but ordinary. With her fiery red hair and regal aura, she has every guy on campus scrambling for her attention. But she's got zero time for admirers, shutting down every advance with a single icy look. Because a flashback reveals she's haunted by the sight of someone else being hopelessly in love. That pillar of light is a beacon, and the red-haired girl is the first to answer its call. She's not just another student. She's hunting for answers, and she knows this heat wave is the key. And back at Ground Zero, Fang Yi's power-up has left a crater where the university gate used to be. He rises from the smoke not as a man, but as a living shadow wreathed in golden flame. The agony is gone, replaced by the calm, terrifying gaze of someone who just stared into the sun and won. And the system confirms it. His new technique is so powerful, it doesn't even need a tutorial. It's just unlocked. But with great power comes a new mystery. Compilation points, a currency he's never seen before. He doesn't waste a second worrying. If it's a reward, it's useful, and that's all that matters right now. The energy blast fades, and the entire campus, including the red-haired girl, is now rushing to the scene of the accident. But the university president is already there, flanked by men in black, and he looks like he knows exactly what just happened. The president isn't just in charge of a university, he's commanding a secret agent to lock down the entire area. And the system confirms it. He didn't just survive, he literally purified a grade A apocalypse hotspot. But the real shocker? The government already knows about these polluted zones, which means he's walking into a game that's already started. Just as he realizes this, the official warnings blare. He's no longer a student, he's an unauthorized entity. Down below, a mysterious hooded figure arrives, only to find the military has already quarantined the entire scene. Fang Yi knows he's made too much noise, and it's time for a tactical retreat before he gets caught. With a single leap, he's airborne, leaving the chaos and the questions far below. But he didn't go unnoticed. The hooded figure stands in the crater he left behind, sensing the residual power. And they come to a terrifying conclusion. This wasn't a natural event, but the work of another awakened human. But while the government panics, this mysterious agent has one priority. Hold on, gotta post this on my moments first. The red-haired girl is floored. This godlike power wasn't a monster, it was a person. And as the figure escapes, she gets a glimpse of his face. Is that Fang Yi? But she immediately laughs it off. There's no way that Deadbeat could be at this university, let alone be that powerful. Meanwhile, Fang Yi makes it home, but his new power is literally burning him from the inside out. He's a human furnace, and no amount of air conditioning can put out the divine fire raging in his veins. This is the price of his upgrade, an agony so intense it won't even let him rest. But his personal hell is interrupted by a bigger fear. Did the whole world just see that? He checks the news for clues, only to find the government has just dropped a bombshell on the entire country. He remembers this aura association. In his first life, everyone thought it was a joke until it wasn't. And then it clicks. The hooded figures at the university weren't just spooks. They're the world's first official cultivators. While the world sleeps, he's about to open the official rulebook for the apocalypse. The government just dropped the patch notes for reality, and the final level is become a god. But this is a secret he never learned in his first life, because the weak were never meant to know the rules. He realizes this is a call to arms and decides to fight fire with, well, divine fire. The agony is back, but this time he's not a victim, he's a pilot learning to fly a nuke. He doesn't just tame the fire, he makes it dance to his will, turning his tiny room into a golden vortex. The first step of cultivation isn't about peace. It's about reforging your body into a living weapon. And the first weapon he forges from pure energy is a divine axe, ready to cleave reality in two. Boom! Level up. He's officially a cultivator, and the system just explained what those mysterious points are for. But the system dangles another secret in front of him, because in this game, there's always another path to unlock. So those mystery points, they're for enchanting literally anything with god-tier powers. And our boy's first thought isn't a weapon or armor, it's, let's see what happens to this coffee mug. And just like that, he's created the world's first divinely powered coffee cup. Nailed it. But his mind is already racing. If he can enchant a mug, he can forge an entire arsenal of apocalypse-slaying weapons. He knows a custom-made weapon isn't a luxury in the coming war, it's the only way to survive. First, a test run on a cheap wall hanger sword, because even a regressor has to budget. But while he's busy planning for the future is busy crawling up his apartment building. And it's brought friends, with way too many teeth and eyes that glow with pure malice. The first monster of his new life isn't some epic dragon, it's a demonic rabbit from the depths of hell. He thought he had time to prepare, but the apocalypse is already scratching at his window. He's barely recovered from his power-up when a strange scratching sound ruins his 5 minutes of peace. He tries to play it cool, thinking it's just a neighbor's pet making a racket. But his new cultivator senses are screaming at him, turning a tiny noise into a blaring alarm. And then his eyes flash red. That sound isn't in the walls, it's right outside his door. He opens the door to find a shadow with way too many teeth waiting for him. The apocalypse didn't just knock, it's trying to tear down the entire hallway to get to him. He knows exactly what this is, a mutated beast. The first wave of the invasion he remembers all too well. But just as he's about to fight, the entire block is lit up by a military helicopter. He's not the only one hunting tonight. On a nearby roof, a mysterious girl reveals this monster isn't random. It's a high-speed thief that stole something called a night spirit fruit. And this girl isn't just watching, she's the one in charge, and she looks like this is just another Tuesday. With a single command, she's in free fall, diving headfirst into the concrete jungle. Her eyes lock on. She's found the monster's energy signature, and it's right where Fang Yi lives. The mission just went critical. Catch the beast before it turns an entire apartment complex into a buffet. And the worst part? The monster just ate a power-up of its own and is evolving by the second. Meanwhile, some poor guy working late just saw a blur of motion fly past his window. He thinks it's just the overtime talking, completely unaware he's got a front-row seat to the apocalypse. But this hunter isn't on the ground. She's scaling skyscrapers like it's a walk in the park. Back in the hallway, the monster finally makes its move, lunging straight for Fang Yi's throat. But it's like swatting at a ghost. Fang Yi dodges without even breaking a sweat, his golden aura flaring to life. Because for him, the world is now in slow motion, and this terrifying beast is just a clumsy puppet on strings. He holds a literal star in his hand, but even he's shocked. The apocalypse is running ahead of schedule. But compared to the nightmares he's already survived, this thing is just a warm-up act. The problem is, this warm-up act is evolving by the minute, and nighttime is its personal steroid. He knows he has to end this now, or his entire apartment building becomes the midnight buffet. He goes for the grab, but this monster is all teeth and fury. The beast latches on, thinking it just scored the winning bite. Big mistake. He knows its weak spot and turns the monster into a furry, screaming wrecking ball. The fight spills out the window, and now they're taking this brawl airborne. That's the look of a man who's done playing games and is about to end this permanently. And he delivers a sun-powered uppercut that sends the beast rocketing into the sky. He unleashes a point-blank solar cannon, turning the night into day. But the monster doesn't just block it, it tries to eat the damn thing. It lunges forward, trying to drain his power right from the source. Bad move, trying to swallow the sun is a one-way ticket to oblivion. The resulting boom is so loud the entire neighborhood thinks a freak thunderstorm just hit. But by the time anyone looks, the battle is over, leaving nothing but a confused bystander. He lands without a sound, the fight already a distant memory. It all clicks. That thing wasn't just fighting him, it was trying to devour his very essence. And after the beast is neutralized, it leaves behind a mysterious prize. He realizes the creature was starving, which means the apocalypse is even more desperate than he remembered. He takes a breath, realizing that without him, his entire building would have been the monster's midnight snack. And with that, the hunt is on. One god-tier technique isn't nearly enough to win this war. But just as he vanishes, the government's top agent finally arrives on the scene. She lands like a shadow, a professional hunter who's just a few seconds too late. She surveys the scene only to find the monster she was chasing has already been taken care of. Her mission was to retrieve the beast, but all she finds are the smoldering leftovers of a one-sided beatdown. But when she touches the ground, the energy she feels isn't from the monster. It's a scorching hot aura, a power so pure it feels like touching the sun itself. And then it all clicks. This is the exact same power signature from the University Gate explosion. She reports back to HQ with a bombshell. The target's dead, but a new high-level player just crashed their party. The government's top minds are scrambling. 2 apocalyptic events, 1 mystery player, and a power signature that's off the charts. They're tearing through every database, but it's no use. This guy is a ghost, an unregistered S-class talent who just appeared out of thin air. And their top agent agrees. You don't let a player this powerful stay a free agent for long. The new mission drops, and it's a big one. Forget everything else. Find the Forerunner who's rewriting the rules of their world. Their plan? Don't fight him. Recruit him, because you'd rather have a nuke on your side than pointed at you. She accepts the mission with the casual confidence of someone who's seen it all. But even the world's most dangerous agent has her priorities straight. First, we hunt a god, then we get bubble tea. But the government isn't the only one who felt that power surge. A new player has just entered the game. This isn't just some suit. He's a master-level cultivator, and he's not asking to meet our boy, he's demanding it. And while the entire country starts a manhunt for him, Fang Yi is just enjoying the morning sun, completely unaware he's now the most wanted man on the planet. While the world hits snooze, our boy's already grinding, and his new workout routine is paying off. He's not just doing morning stretches, he's literally absorbing the sun to fuel his revenge tour. He's barely started his warm-up, and he's already breaking through to the next level. This isn't cultivation, it's a speed run. The power surge is so intense, it's rewriting his body on a cellular level. His divine axe feels like a toy now, because what's a god-tier weapon when you're leveling up this fast? And boom, another level up. The system can barely keep up with his progress. Every breakthrough makes him stronger, turning his body into a fortress of pure golden rage. But then he realizes, this isn't his own talent, it's the afterburn from that first insane power-up. He knows he can't rely on cheat codes forever. It's time to build his power the old-fashioned way. But his training is lighting up the whole block, and just in time, his first real weapon has arrived. Meanwhile, at the Association HQ, the man in charge is having a very interesting morning. Because Fang Yi's little power-up just set off every alarm in the country, and they know exactly who it is. But our boy is miles away from the manhunt, about to turn his budget sword into a legendary weapon. He hits confirm and starts pouring the raw power of the sun directly into the steel. He learned his lesson the hard way. You can't forge a god killer out of a cheap toy. But this time it sings. The blade and his power are now one and the same. The system gives him the green light, and he decides it's time to test out his new toy. And by test, I mean he unleashes a solar flare that could probably be seen from orbit. The sword doesn't just cut anymore. It erases reality with the fury of a star. And his reaction to nearly leveling a mountain? Phew, almost started a wildfire. He knows he just sent a smoke signal to the entire country and decides it's time to make a tactical exit. And just as he vanishes, the government's top agent arrives, furious that she's late to the party again. Her excuse? She missed catching a god-tier entity because she was cashing in a bubble tea coupon. Priorities, people. But when she sees the superheated crater he left behind, her first thought isn't danger, it's hot spring. She's not worried about the apocalypse, she's worried about the paperwork for a vaporized Buddha statue. And just like that, the world's deadliest agent is reduced to tears, knowing the cleanup crew is going to have her head. But then she spots it, a single shimmering trace of the power he left behind. And the truth hits her like a truck. This guy didn't just level up, he's breaking the power scale entirely. Because he's not just powerful, he's wielding a spirit weapon, an artifact so rare it's practically a myth. The entire association only has 2 of these things, and the tech is top secret. So how in the hell did this ghost get his hands on one? She plays it off with a joke and a bubble tea, but the world's top agent is now stuck cleaning up after a god. But while the government scrambles, Fang Yi is already thinking bigger. One divine attribute is just the beginning. He realizes he can stack enchantments, turning a simple sword into a weapon that breaks the very laws of reality. And just as he's planning his next move, his phone blows up. A stranger just slid into his DMs and they know he's a cultivator. He plays it cool, but inside he's screaming. He's a regressor who just got exposed because he forgot to turn on his privacy settings. But the chat drops a bombshell. The government's best are struggling with a technique he mastered on day one. The stranger dangles the ultimate bait, a team-up to raid a new high-level zone with an even split of the loot. He agrees, and they send him the intel, a data pack for a place called the Dark River Molten Dragon. The zone is a literal volcano, a perfect power-up spot for a guy who wields the sun, and he knows this is no coincidence. And we cut to the meeting spot where his new friends are waiting, but something about this feels less like a team-up and more like an ambush. His new team is already waiting for him, and their leader is practically drooling over the trap they've laid. The blonde girl plays the part of the friendly guide, but her smile is about as real as a $3 bill. And there's the twist. She's not a raider, she's a government scout from the association, and she thinks her new recruits are a bunch of nobodies. Turns out the Aura Association is the government's secret weapon, an exclusive club for the world's most powerful cultivators. But even government agents have to grind, and she's desperate for a win so she doesn't get stuck with overtime. And right on cue, Fang Yi arrives, looking less like a rookie and more like the final boss of the entire dungeon. She's instantly floored. He's got the power level of a seasoned pro, but his aura feels like a warm hug instead of a death threat. With the team assembled, they step into the darkness, walking straight into a mission that's about to go sideways. He immediately takes point, and just like that, the guy they invited as backup is now running the entire show. The team thinks it's strange the volcano isn't a furnace, but Fang Yi knows the real danger isn't the heat. It's what's waiting for them in the cold. He thinks they've accepted him, but he has no idea he's walking into a government-sanctioned trap. The team is terrified by the river of lava, but for Fang Yi, this isn't a dungeon, it's a spa. While the rookies panic, Fang Yi walks straight towards the danger like he's going for a swim. They think he's got a death wish, but he's just plugging his sword into the world's most dangerous power outlet. The volcano erupts and his team is blown away, realizing the quiet rookie is a walking natural disaster. The system goes into overdrive, analyzing the very core of the volcano to forge him a new weapon. And the system confirms it. He's about to absorb a power that's pure explosive destruction. Forget his old moves. The system just handed him a technique that summons fire and lightning with every swing. But this power isn't just about fire. It feeds on his will to fight, turning his rage into pure energy. And with a single touch, he's not just holding a sword anymore, he's holding a storm. He's not just holding a sword, he's wielding a piece of the sun, and it feels perfect. The team can only watch in horror as their rookie turns a river of lava into his personal power-up station. They call it a small accident, but Fang Yi just tamed a volcano, and he's about to repay them for their hospitality. Thanks to him, the rookies are finally leveling up, completely clueless that they're basking in the glow of a future god. The government agent plays the friendly lookout, but her smile is hiding a mission and a whole lot of secrets. But their little training session is about to get crashed, because a new group of players just entered the dungeon. And these guys aren't here to make friends. They're high-level thugs looking to claim the entire zone for themselves. The agent panics. Her team is a bunch of newbies, and they're about to get wiped out by seasoned killers. She tries to play diplomat, offering to share the space, but you can't reason with a pack of wolves. And the alpha wolf just laughed in her face because in this world, the strong take whatever they want. The agent steels herself, believing in survival of the fittest, but she's about to get a masterclass in what real power looks like. But just as the thugs move in, a casual yo cuts through the tension like a hot knife. And our boy steps up to the biggest guy in the room with one simple question. You feel tough picking on a girl? The thug doesn't even get to answer before Fang Yi unleashes a wave of pure solar fury. He didn't come here to fight, he came here to end the conversation, and the entire squad gets sent flying. His own team is left completely speechless, wondering what kind of monster they brought with them. But for Fang Yi, this is a painful memory. He's seen where this might makes right road leads, and he's shutting it down for good. He knows you can't reason with predators, you can only make them fear you. And with a single word, he delivers a final, devastating lesson in respect. The alpha wolf is left broken and terrified, realizing he didn't just pick a fight with a person, he picked a fight with a god. He didn't just beat them, he rewrote their definition of fear, and now the bullies are running for their lives. And just like that, his team goes from suspicious host to his #1 fan club. He plays it off with a smile, acting like he just shooed away a fly instead of leveling a squad of killers. The team follows him without question, completely unaware they're walking behind the apocalypse's new main character. But the agent knows the truth. He held back because one full power swing would have left nothing but shadows. Her mission just got a major update. Forget the dungeon. She needs to report the walking nuke she just found. The news hits HQ like a thunderbolt. They're already hunting one god-tier player, and now a second one just appeared. But her report is overheard by the real boss, and her casual debrief just became a national security meeting. His assistant thinks they're lucky, but the director knows these new players aren't assets. They're kings who will soon demand a kingdom. And the man in charge of managing two god-tier loose cannons has just one thought: I want to resign. And we're back to a perfectly normal day, but we all know normal is just the loading screen for the next disaster. Fang Yi tries to go incognito, but the public thinks he's just a handsome cosplayer with a really convincing prop sword. He's trying to be a ghost, but he's walking around looking like the final boss who just stepped out for groceries. But his low-key stroll is interrupted by a message that confirms his worst fear. He's been found. He realizes his power surges are leaving a trail, and now he's wondering which of his teammates sold him out. The problem is, he's so full of raw power he's about to level up again, whether he wants to or not. No time to waste. He's heading for the mountains to let this power surge rip before it takes down his entire neighborhood. He finds the perfect secluded spot, 5 minutes from home, to have his next world-shaking meltdown in peace. But his secluded spot is already occupied by a garden restoration expert who looks way too cool for her job description. And the moment he arrives, she feels it, a power surge so immense it turns her quiet workday into a red alert. She feels a power so intense it's like a second sun just rose, and she knows her quiet day is officially over. She tries to put a name to the power, but this isn't just a level up, it's someone rewriting the entire power scale. The sheer force of it is rewriting the landscape, and she realizes this isn't a cultivator, it's a walking apocalypse. Her professional curiosity just turned into a high-speed chase, and she's not about to let this mystery player get away. And then it clicks. This power signature feels familiar, and she's not just chasing a ghost, she's hunting a god.